industry news. We'll fix or repair your car on the air.
Control.
Fasten your seatbelts and let us take the wheel. Now, your ride is about to begin.
Cruise control.
Because you're on cruise control. Cruise control. Cruise control.
And welcome to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Hello, everyone. It's Fred Staab and Les Jackson. Les, how you doing?
Excellent, Fred. We once again we have an awful lot going on in the auto industry, and we like being the guys who fill in the rest of the people around the country.
Yeah, we sure do.
And as always, as always, a few surprises. You just never know what's going to happen.
Well, Toyota pulled the wraps off its rugged all-wheel drive, all-new 4Runner, and has some very trail-capable models available. It's something we're really going to go through here, a lot of technology.
Absolutely, and I'm going to call it the Range Runner because it just seems so much like that. And Hyundai takes on Pikes Peak with the Ioniq 5N. Good for you.
Yeah, I think that's going to be quite the machine at Pikes Peak, and we'll tell you who will be driving it. And I don't know, did you ever want to drive Pikes Peak? I mean, at speed? I've driven it up
did.
Pikes Peak.
I did want to do that until I saw a couple cars go off. And then I said, well, I don't really have to do that.
Yeah. How about drive a K5? We're going to talk about the Kia K5 sedan. It's been priced out and redesigned. So we'll talk about that.
Yep. We are going to talk a lot about that. And talking tech, Honda uses AI to improve the motoring experience for the sight impaired. Now, this is what you want to hear about.
Yeah, cool technology for sure.
Yeah.
And then as the Tesla turns, one study says when it comes to electric vehicles, people want anything but a Tesla. And are we nearing the Robotaxi reveal?
I'm in that group, by the way.
Yeah.
But you'd know that from if you listen to the show for any amount of time. We're not big Tesla buyers. Anyway, which states have the worst roads? We're going to tell you which states, and then I'm going to tell you which city. Because it's right over there.
Yeah, we'll talk all about that and more, all when we get rolling on this edition of Cruise Control Radio. Like I say, coming up, this is a pretty cool vehicle here, the Toyota 4Runner, very rugged looking, and we are going to tell you all about it when we come back on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Stay tuned.
Cruise control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control. We are about to show you, or talk to you anyway, about Toyota's new 4Runner. Now, a lot of people are getting excited because, of course, the 4Runner kind of went away for a little while, and it's back. And boy, is it back!
Yeah,
it is really aggressively styled for running, I guess would be the best term. It's a go anywhere real piece of machinery.
Yeah, it is. And they have a new Trail Hunter model, which is an overlanding rig. It is the latest, has all the latest integrated off-road equipment from ARB, Old Man Emu, and Rigid Industry. And one thing they teased us with last week before this was revealed, all come with a standard power rear window. Last time I remember a power window that went down was in my dad's Chevy Caprice wagon. You could put the back window down.
Yeah.
You don't see them too much anymore, do you?
Well, you don't. And if you think about it, there were a bunch of cars back then that had crank rear tailgate windows, and they always failed.
Mm-hmm.
They just broke because it was a lot of work to move the window mechanism up and down.
But this one's got a power one. Everyone
Yeah.
does. First ever platinum premium grade now offered in the Forerunner. You don't think of Forerunner as being a platinum premium grade,
No,
and
no.
it does have a iForce Max hybrid powertrain available that produces up to 326 horsepower at 465 pound-feet of torque. The standard engine is a 2.4 liter four-cylinder that produces 278 horsepower at 317 pound-feet of torque. You think about it, everyone's bringing out very capable off-roaders, all their models, the different models, Wilderness Edition, things like that. So when you're the Forerunner, you really have to go over the top, and I think they have here with all the technology, the wheels, the tires, the name brand parts and pieces that are going on here. This is the real deal, folks, for sure, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's based on their TNGAF global truck platform that Tacoma and Land Cruiser and Tundra and Sequoia use. So, this is a very well proven platform. It's unbelievably robust. So, it's gonna be what a Toyota wants it. You want a Toyota to be when it's off road, and that is don't break.
Yeah. Notice Fox shocks, all the good stuff, all good
Yeah.
parts and pieces. Yet it is very safe. It has the pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, lane departure alert, full speed range, dynamic radar cruise control, lane tracking, road sign assist, automatic high beams, and proactive driving assist. It's all part of Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0 standard system there. Um, even wireless charging on the inside. It's kind of the mix of best of both worlds. You've got your rock rub rails and your wireless phone charger. A little bit of everything.
Everything. So, grab one and throw the kayak on the roof and go whitewater rafting or whatever, or go. I guess you could take that thing up a ski slope if you want to.
Really? Yeah, I would imagine that they're all going to be built at the Tahara plant in Japan and will arrive in the U.S. in the fall of 2024. They are quite the rugged beasts, and I definitely kind of like, I like buying something like this from the factory because it's heavily engineered, isn't it?
Yeah, it's over engineered, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, and everything is evaluated. All the parts there, all the wheels and tire package. There's no guesswork done. It has been done for you already, and I'm sure people will take these to the next step too, as well. Nice that they offer a hybrid drivetrain. Proof positive that I believe everything in the Toyota lineup will be hybrid or offer a hybrid at some
Yep,
point. Would you agree, sir?
I would agree. They are the hybrid masters.
Yeah, yeah. So more about that when we get more information on pricing. I would say it would certainly be in the low 50s at least, I would say.
I would, yeah. I'm confident it won't be much less than that.
Yep. Well, we are confident we will be back. Fred Staab and Les Jackson, you are listening to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. We're going to talk Pikes Peak when we come back.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Fred Staab and Les Jackson. We're glad you're along for the ride. Don't forget to check us out at all our social media platforms. We always like you to follow along and get additional information. And Les, now it is time to discuss Pikes Peak and the plans Hyundai has to show off their electric Ioniq 5N, quite the little electric hot rod. And they're going to be doing this, a couple of different versions of it. A modified Ioniq 5N will be revealed prior to the ADAC Ravenel 24-hour Nürburgring on May 30th. That's a different operation, but that's the reveal of the car. But a production Hyundai Ioniq 5N is being tested for the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb by driver Robin Shute in California City, California on April 5th, 2024. It was tested. And they're going to have a couple of these in this Pikes Peak race, driven by driver Ron Zaris in California City, California. And it's going to be pretty cool. Also driving will be Paul Dallenbach, who is an 11-time winner at Pikes Peak. Nothing bad with putting him in the seat, right?
Imagine winning Pikes Peak 11 times.
I guess you know your way up the hill, right?
You better know your way up the hill, because it's a long way down if you miss your turn.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough mountain to drive up. I've driven up it, but not, in the race.
Yeah, not at speed.
It's bad enough just driving up it.
Yeah. Well, this is quite the machine. The total output is 601 horsepower. So you get 223 at the front, 378 at the back, and you have that grin boost button where you can get an extra shot of power. I guess that might be used somewhere in the Pikes Peak
I guess, yeah.
run. But it's a perfect spot to show off your new electric hot rod for sure. And I'm sure they'll have fun doing it. Think an electric vehicle's good for going up Pikes Peak? Do you think it's a plus?
Because you don't have altitude problems. You don't, you can have all-wheel drive, which is always an advantage. It's quiet, so you can hear yourself screaming if you go off the road.
Yeah. Not a lot of mods to this. Driver seat replaced with a Recaro Pro Racer seat, a SPA Hans seat. The seat belts were Sabelt 6-point Hans compatible, and the rear seats were removed, and a roll cage and fire suppression system were installed. So not a lot of mods.
Not much, no.
No, but so I think it will be an interesting test for the folks over at Hyundai. Now, let's talk something that is a little bit less capable for going up the hill, but just capable as a great vehicle, and that is from Kia. We are going to talk about their new K5. It got a restyle, and we have some pricing information on it, and a great sedan, right?
It is a great sedan. Someone I know is probably going to buy one.
Uh-huh. All right.
And it's a lot for the money, and they've been doing, it's very well received.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sedan, as in not an SUV.
Mm-hmm.
And the redesign is not significantly more expensive than the 2024 model, just a few $100s, but more features.
Yeah. Well, they start out K5 LXS at front-wheel drive only, $26,990. You go up to the GT line, the $27,990. That's available in all-wheel drive too for $29,590. And then the EX is $34,490, and the GT is $33,090. So not a tremendous amount of money, really, but it gets a lot of great updates. Front and center, a new available single-pane curved display that houses a 12-inch instrument screen and a new standard 12.3-inch touchscreen navigation unit. New wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's standard across the K5 line, wireless. And Kia's new connected car navigation cockpit system uses a faster processor and higher fidelity. And it has better used quick controls available with the swipe of the screen. So over-the-air updates too. Who doesn't do over-the-air updates now, right?
You're right. I can't imagine who doesn't. But yeah, so the Kia's got a bunch of different lines and something for everybody. Also, some very nice colors.
Yeah. Yeah. So, pretty cool stuff. I think sedans are poised to make a comeback. I really do. And there's a lot of great ones out there. And people like Kia and Toyota and others have kind of stuck with them, where some manufacturers have moved away from them. It's still a major part of the automotive industry, but it is not as big as it used to be because of all the crossovers, right?
Yep. Awful lot of SUVs and crossovers and pickups.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, wireless, the vehicle I'm testing right now is great. I'm seeing a constant improvement in wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and more apps being able to be used with Android Auto, which I happen to have, and it's quite amazing what it does. It is, and you can literally have your phone in your pocket, and it will be working, and the navigation will be working for you. So it's I think if you can get wireless, get it, because it is much improved. We can tell you a little bit about Subaru pricing. Actually, let's save that for the after the break. We're going to tell you about pricing on the 2025 Outback SUV and Legacy sedan, another manufacturer that's stuck with sedans, Subaru. So we can talk about that when we come back on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Also, we'll be talking talking tech, how Honda is using artificial intelligence to improve the motoring experience for people that are sight impaired, and it's quite interesting what they're doing that. And as the Tesla turns, one study says, I'll buy an electric car, any electric car except a Tesla.
That's a wise consumer.
Yeah, there you go. And they're going to get more and more choices on that. And then also we're going to finish up with the worst roads. Who has the worst roads? What state has the worst roads? I believe the ones we're in less are fall into the worst category.
We're strong contenders.
Yeah, we're strong contenders. We're not at, they get worse as they go down the list, I believe. So
yeah.
So probably, I don't know, maybe you stick around because your state may be on the list. You never know. You never know. But let us know. Do you use wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and how does it work for you? If you could send us a note on our YouTube channel or Facebook page, either or, let us know. X as well, we're on. Send us a note and let us know if you are having a good experience with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay wirelessly. We will be right back on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine, so stay tuned.
Cruise Control.
Hey, welcome back to Cruise Control. Fred and I were talking over the break about various vehicles and stuff, and one that is extremely popular, especially in the Northeast, is Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to own a Subaru if you if you live in several northeastern states. And the Outback, we have some pricing for the
Yeah,
2025.
yeah. We have Outback 2025 SUV pricing and Legacy sedan pricing. The Legacy that starts at an incredible $24,895.
Yeah, that's
Same
a
as the Outback.
bargain.
That is a bargain. I really think it is. And let's kind of drill down on some of those. So the Legacy. Hold on. 24,895 with destination 26,040. And then the premium goes up to 28,340, limited 35,150, Legacy Sport 35,640, and Legacy Touring 39,340. And then if you go to the Outback, so the Outback, let's see, for 2025, I don't think there's a lot of changes to the Outback really for 2025. Base, Premium, Onyx, Limited, Touring, Onyx Edition XT, Wilderness, Limited XT, and Touring XT. That is a lot of models. But let's look at some of the pricing on that. The Outback starts at $28,895 and then goes up with the premium to $31,195. The Onyx, which is the blacked out edition, $36,105. The Limited, $37,885. The Outback Touring, $40,345. The Outback Onyx Edition, $39,360. And the Outback Wilderness, $39,960, all the way up to the Outback Touring XT at $42,795. Quite a range there.
That is quite a range, and it's getting up there.
Yeah. I bet if you went in to get a Legacy, you would have to order it because I bet they don't really stock too many Legacies. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they stock the high-end ones, and they're just not interested in the lower end, and unless someone comes in to order it.
Yeah. Really not a lot new on these vehicles for this year, but carryover, but at least the pricing information. Some will add like a moonroof, or driver-focused distraction mitigation system. For the Outback Limited, this is an interesting thing here for a 360-degree heated steering wheel for the 2025 Outback Limited. There was some talk it wasn't completely heated. It was only heated where you hold your hands, and people complained about that. They want a full heated 360-degree steering wheel. So I guess Subaru listened. So that is good news, Definitely good news for people looking to have warm hands, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's take a look at how Honda is making a better experience. It's a talking text here. It is Honda is finding a way to let blind road trippers enjoy the scenery. So Scenic Audio AI, it's a web app, describes the scenery for the visually impaired passengers during road trips. Using computer vision and generative AI, the app vividly narrates the surroundings with identifiable sounds and vivid descriptions of even the weather. And the beta version will be tested by the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind, aiming to enhance accessibility for all users. Pretty trick. This is sort of like video description service that you sometimes hear if you select that track, if you're watching something on Netflix or any of the streaming companies, where we'll say man in red hat gets out of pickup truck and walks across to the cabin. So this is what they're kind of describing here, and the fact that it can do it in real time and use your camera to describe what it's seeing is pretty amazing, don't you think?
It is. It is. I think this is a step along the way of eventually being able, with AI and various implant technology, eventually you'll be able to create images in the brain for people who are blind, which is, that's the goal, and it's going to happen someday. Just like cochlear implants can be implanted in people's skulls for people that have no hearing, and in many cases they can hear again.
Right. I think this is the beginning of that type of situation.
That's where AI is going to be really spectacular.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and once again, yes, we should think about limitations and things like that, but you can't stop technology. I mean, once technology is introed, people will start using it, and you've got to think of ways to use it in the best way. So there you have it. That's our talking tech.
That's it.
Yeah, let's talk about this study as the Tesla turns a study, where people literally said that they wanted anything but a Tesla. Can you? That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Well, it is, because people are beginning to. How can I put this without being so insulting? People are beginning to look through the magician's wand and see that there's nothing there.
The curtain,
or there's very little there.
The curtain is being pulled back.
That's right. The Wizard of Oz's curtain is being pulled back, and they're looking at Teslas much more pragmatically.
Mm-hmm.
And less as a symbol of whatever. And there's so much out there that's just better.
And more on the way. You look at what our story we did earlier with BMW doing, so many new vehicles, many of them electric. And so this is a UBS study. Well over half of EV shoppers surveyed by the UBS study, they have an annual study, said they would prefer to buy an electric car from a legacy car maker over a new manufacturer like Tesla. The likelihood U.S. shoppers would buy an EV actually increased with brands other than Tesla.
That's pretty serious. When you have this list of things, yes, and I'll take anything but that.
Right. And then also a recent study from a Boston consulting group forecasts that the growing hybrid interest is likely to peak among mass market and premium sedans, coupes, and crossover. That was originally an article in Business Insider. That is kind of chopping into their Tesla's bread and butter buyer as well. I think it doesn't bode well. It doesn't sound great for Tesla, does it?
Well, it doesn't. Now, the one way to react to that is just keep lowering your price. That'll work for a while, but people are they're trying other EVs instead of saying, oh, well, I want an electric car, I'm going to go buy a Tesla. No, you can buy an electric car from almost just about any manufacturer.
Yeah.
and people like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're finally realizing, well, my electric is much nicer than my friend's Tesla.
Right.
It's the interior appointments are higher quality. It's more polished in the way it drives. Um, the paint just seems much nicer.
Yes. Well, when we come back, we are going to talk about some other plans for Tesla, including a Robotaxi. Those things have worked out well. Why not jump into that arena?
Why
Well,
not?
we'll be right back with more on Cruise Control. Stay tuned.
Cruise control.
Welcome back to Cruise Control. We are still on the subject of the general subject of Tesla and Elon Musk, and in this case, Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I can't resist Fred saying that Robotaxi I'll be back. This has been kind of talked before by not just by Tesla but other companies, and Elon says it's coming in October.
Yeah. Revealed. He's
yeah.
saying coming in October and revealing in August 8th. Now, here's the weird thing about this. We talked about this last week, where there were some insiders saying that the sub $25,000 car would not be produced. Instead, there would be a Robotaxi revealed, right? Yeah. And those were denied. And that was a Reuters report. So it's not like, it was somebody making this up. It was Reuters research report. Now, they said, that article said that the $25,000 car was dead. It would be replaced by a Robotaxi. And now the next week we hear about a Robotaxi.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? First, I'm not riding in anybody's Robotaxi.
It hasn't worked out well where people have tried it. It has not worked out well.
No, it has not worked. It's not ready. That's level 5, and it's just not ready. So, what's this demonstration going to look like? Well, I can imagine. In fact, I can write a comedy skit for it, but I won't. I would love to see it, but somehow, what do you think, Fred? Do you think the demonstration is really going to go off and it's going to be driving itself?
I'm not sure. Maybe in a very controlled environment. I mean, his autopilot, which is not really an autopilot system,
Right.
depends, apparently, due to a recent lawsuit, it depends on lines on the street. So if the lane marking lines are not there, or as you know, they get patched, they get painted over, they get paved over, it doesn't know where to go. So how's that going to work?
Well, hopefully it'll stop itself.
And or just turn sideways and drive into something. This has been tried. Yeah. Look at the Cruise plan with GM. They just kind of shut it down. Yep. Remember, wasn't it San Francisco where they attacked that one Robotaxi? I believe it was a Jaguar of some kind, and they wrecked it. Like a crowd mobbed it.
Well, that's, we're not suggesting anyone should do
that. No, but there are a lot of people that don't want it, and I don't know. I think it's an interesting play to go into that. I don't think there's If he said, I'm going to build small delivery vans, that would make more sense. But
But again, they have to drive themselves in every condition, and you just can't do that. What you can, like at airports, you can have
like a
robotically controlled vans that are taking you from terminal to terminal because it's a fixed system that's been worked out and it has every sensor it needs and they
something
work fine.
embedded in the road. Yeah.
Right. There's a similar like holds 10 people over in National Harbor along the Potomac here at DC, and it takes you around all of the stores and hotels there. But it's a fixed route. It can't go wrong. So that's one thing. But having a robo taxi, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's jump over to this Mulaney Law study about best and worst roads. Mulaney Law, by the way, is a Pennsylvania personal injury firm. If you've been hurt in any way,
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, let's not advertise for them.
no, but we've got a little time here. Worst roads, average. So these are the 50 worst roads. The 50th worst is New Jersey. I'm going to pick out some that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where does Virginia fall in for you? Let's see.
Well,
Virginia's number 25. Number 25.
Virginia's roads in general are quite good.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Not not so much Northern Virginia, but
So yours are better. Yeah, this goes from worst to first. The best roads
yeah.
apparently are in Idaho, Georgia, Tennessee, North Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, Kentucky, Alabama, Montana, and Oregon.
Alabama.
Yeah, that's the top ones.
That's
Some of that has to do with no, that some of those are cold states, Nebraska, Wyoming.
I mean, some of them are states where there aren't any people.
Yeah,
So,
well, so the
so
road never wears
nobody's.
out.
Yeah,
Um,
but Alabama is, it's good for them. They're spending a lot of money on their roads.
New York was 39th out of 50, so that's not too great.
Well, again, I mean, look at the extremes of weather.
And then let's see, Virginia was 25th, well, right in the middle.
25th, right in the center.
Mm.
We are incredibly average here in Virginia.
We are incredibly average. I
Oh,
know.
is DC in here? What?
I
They're
don't.
not. They don't have cities, right?
No, they don't have DC
Yeah.
broken out there.
But
But
where's Maryland? Oh, Maryland's 33, so it's much worse
yeah, yeah.
than we are.
I've seen some road work that looks like it was done, by someone that never did
Yeah.
road work before.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, they also holes like dramatically big holes that really should be marked with a cone or should be at least repaired enough so you don't damage your car. But
Well, and I don't know how often you're going into New York City, but going into DC, it is just pothole city. Because the roads are so crowded, they're just not fixing them much or thoroughly, and it's just a bouncing. It's almost a carnival ride when driving into DC. It's pretty bad.
yeah, yeah, they're not the best. They're worn out. A lot of roads are worn out, and it. Do you think this will get worse with heavier cars, heavier trucks?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. It's we don't build roads like the Europeans do. They build
No,
roads.
they
They're
last 100
they're
years.
yeah, they're 50 to 100 years is the way they engineer the roads. Ours are 15 years.
Yeah, if you're lucky. If you're lucky. I also think
Yeah,
plows pull them up too. They catch stuff on the
sure.
plow blade, and then because they get dramatically worse after a snowstorm. So. But there you have it. That is the best and most worst roads in America. Idaho being the best, New Jersey being the worst. I've been on some rough New Jersey roads, so there you go. Hey, we appreciate you listening to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Don't forget to check us out on all our social media outlets. And it's time for me to say I'm Fred Staab.
I'm Les Jackson.
And Les Jackson will be working with his wireless Android Auto later, so he'll be enjoying that, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
All right. We will see you down the road. Take care.
Bye. Ta-dum, 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 ta-dum.